shootings, is Washington, D.C. really ready to act? Congressman John Garamendi, Democrat of California, joins me now. Congressman, you told us that last night's town hall to you felt like a seminal moment where something really changed. What do you mean?
Well, I mean just that. You did a great thing for this nation. You brought together an extremely important issue, and it was tough. It was and the people were sounding off on all sides. You had the NRA there having to actually protect itself and defend itself. Is it a seminal moment? I hope and pray so. Is it the tipping point? If so, you pushed it over the edge. Good for you. Good for America.
Well, I wasn't fishing for a compliment there, but I just wondered, like,
well,
what you think, what's going to change, though, is my question. What possibly is going to change?
What's changed, I hope, is an attitudinal change across this nation, that we're not going to be safer if we have more guns. We're not going to be safer if every teacher or 20% of the teachers have a hidden weapon in their back pocket. That doesn't make us safer. There's a whole variety of things we can do. Mental health is clearly one of the issues, and perhaps we ought to ask the president why his budget that just came out less than a month ago cuts the mental health budget for the NICS program by 16% and eliminates one of the programs, the Safe School program, in the Department of Justice. So he's going to have to backpedal and come forward with some money to carry out the programs he's talking about. All to the good. All to the good. We're getting a national conversation underway, and maybe we can get some progress here. But keep in mind that every effort that's been made by the Democrats to bring in place gun safety laws, including mental health, including no-fly, no-buy, those kind of things, were dead in the Republican-controlled committees.
Well, let me ask you a question. When you were a California state senator, after the horrific shooting in Stockton, California in 1989, you were able to push the first state law to ban some kinds of semi-automatic weapons, otherwise known as assault weapons. Now, since then, of course, there have been murders in California with semi-automatic weapons, including San Bernardino, where the killer used semi-automatic weapons. So how do you respond to critics who say, you know, it doesn't work?
Well, it certainly reduces the number of assault weapons that are on the streets. Now, California did have a ban and has had various kinds of bans since that horrific shooting in Stockton. I represented that area. I saw those kids. I saw the bullet wounds. And they are horrific. You want to get this country up in arms, show the physical damage, the horrendous damage that these kids endure with these particular kinds of assault weapons. It is beyond horrible. And people need to understand this is not just a pistol. It is a mechanism to destroy a human being, plain and simple.
So Wayne LaPierre, I want to ask you, Wayne LaPierre of the NRA today said the Democrats are ignoring the fact that the FBI didn't act on tips, and I'm wondering if you would concede that point. Nobody's ignoring that, and certainly the FBI isn't ignoring it. They're being called to task, as they should be, as should be the police. And across this nation, we know there's problems with the NICS system, the National Gun System. We know that the Air Force ignored the law and didn't send in reports, and the result of that was probably directly related to the 26 people that lost their lives in that church in Texas less than 3 months ago. Right.
So we have a problem there of reporting. Yes, that must be dealt with. Does that solve the problem? No, not totally. It will help along the way. Also, the Sandy Hook situation. At Sandy Hook, the parents put together a program, as they did in Columbine, to work with the kids, to work in schools, to make the school a welcoming place and to identify those kids that have problems and work with them. Those kinds of things are important, but it takes money. Mr. President, where's the money? It's not in your budget.
All right, Congressman John Garamendi, Democrat of California, thank you so much for your time, sir. We appreciate it.
Thank you.
Coming up, were the police warned about the Stoneman Douglas shooter making gun threats months before the deadly massacre? What CNN just learned today from police reports we have